Okay guys, so I'm in my classroom right now and I know that you guys were struggling, so I'm going to do a quick example right now. I'm going to attempt to upload this to my blog. Hopefully it works. Then you guys can get another example in with the unit circle, okay? So I'm going to try my best. I have no idea how this is going to work out, but let's go with it. Okay, so let's say I ended up in a situation like, let's say I ended up with something like this, like the sine of x equals root 3 over 2. Okay? Ding, ding, ding. As soon as we see root 3 over 2, we know we're dealing with multiples of 30 degrees or pi over 6. Remember I said I'm going to keep using radians because in calculus it's radians, radians, radians. Okay? So we need to say what value of x will make the sine of x equal root 3 over 2. So immediately, this is positive. This is positive, okay? So if we think about our unit circle right here, where is sine positive? Okay, where is sine positive? Well, sine is which coordinate, the x or the y? It's the y. Remember, we talked about this. It goes in ordered pairs, cosine x, comma, sine x. And I said the way to remember that is c comes before s, x comes before y. That's the way to remember. So sine is your y coordinate. So when is y positive? It's going to be positive in this quadrant and in this quadrant. Okay? So we talked about sine being root 3 over 2. So we talked about root 3 over 2 is always paired with 1/2 when we're dealing with sine and cosine. So if sine of x is root 3 over 2, cosine of x, depending on what quadrant we're in, is going to be 1/2 or negative 1/2, depending on the quadrant. So if we take a guess, let's say we take a guess, and when you're on your test tomorrow, you just draw this little circle and you start drawing pictures. That's fine. So you say, okay, so I'm going to draw this out here. So I'm going to move pi over 6, okay? Pi over 6 and come down. So pi over 6, this is root 3 over 2, okay? And this is going to be 1/2. So sine of pi over 6 is clearly 1/2 because we talked about how sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite 1/2 over hypotenuse. So when we've rotated pi over 6, the sine of pi over 6 is going to equal 1/2. And that's not what we want. We want 3 over 2. So we clearly know that it's not pi over 6. And the other multiple of pi over 6 in this quadrant is pi over 3. Okay? So if we erase this and we say, okay, that didn't work. Now remember, we're not of 45 degrees, multiples of pi over 4. And we all know the 1/2 root 3 over 2 is multiples of pi over 6 or multiples of 30 degrees. Okay? So, let's look here. All right. So let's say we just rotated pi over 3. Okay? I just rotated pi over 3 radians. Okay? So now I draw this down. So clearly this is the shorter side. This is the longer side. So the longer side is root 3 over 2. The shorter side is 1/2. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, root 3 over 2 over 1, because it's a unit circle. So we know that the sine of pi over 3 equals root 3 over 2. Okay? Boom. We've got an answer. Okay? What is the value of x? So sine of what equals root 3 over 2? So equal, let me see how much room I have. I can write it over here. So x is going to equal pi over 3. Okay, because we just figured that the sine of pi over 3, based on this picture, is root 3 over 2, so I'm going to erase that now. But then there's going to be another option for it, right? Then there's going to be another option for it. So let's take this, you guys, look at this orange triangle that I just created, okay? It was 30, 60, 90, this being 60 degrees, 30 degrees. 60 degrees also pi over 3, okay, is 60 degrees. Now, if we take this triangle and we reflect it, okay, over the y-axis here, let's see what would happen. If we reflect it over the y-axis, okay, we end up with, oops, yep. We end up with another root 3 over 2 for y and 1/2 for x. Okay, that point up here, it's going to be negative 1/2 because we're in this quadrant over here, so x is negative. But y is still positive. So do you agree the sine of whatever, now watch, whatever angle I've created here to here, the sine of that angle that I created is going to be root 3 over 2, right? Because sine is opposite over hypotenuse is always 1, okay? So now the question becomes, what is this angle? How do I know what this angle is? Well, if we reflected it over, do you agree that it's moved 60 degrees up? It's moved pi over 3 from this horizontal x-axis, right? Pi over 3 this direction? Okay. Well, if this is pi over 3, okay, what is this right here? Okay, in terms of pi over 3? Well, we know it's pi. So do you think that it's safe to call this angle 180 degrees that we've rotated, it's pi, but another way to write that using pi over 3 would be 3 pi over 3. Do you agree that 3 pi over 3 when reduced equals pi? So this is 3 pi over 3 that we've wrote here, okay? Well, if we come all the way down to here, if we were to take this and come all the way down, not stop there where I have a stopping, but came all the way down, that would be 3 pi over 3. But I said because this is the same triangle here as the one over here, this angle right here is pi over 3. So we're actually, if we go all the way down to here, to 3 pi over 3, we're actually subtracting pi over 3 off of that. Okay, so if we have 3 pi over 3 total rotation minus pi over 3, that's going to equal 2 pi over 3. Okay, that's going to equal 2 pi over 3. All right, so then we know at 2 pi over 3, okay, because that's how long, so let me erase this here. Don't get confused. So now, okay, we've rotated 2 pi over 3 radians, sorry, not degrees. 2 pi over 3 radians, okay, and sine value of root 3 over 2 at that point, okay? So x, I'm going to erase this, so x equals pi over 3 or x equals 2 pi over 3, okay? Now I'm going to need to see all your work on this, so it's important to check with a graphing calculator if you're allowed to use one. As a check so that you know you did it right. But remember, I need to see your work. I need to know that you were able to do this. Plus, your graphing calculator is going to give you a decimal. It's not going to give you answer. So let's see if I grab the graphing calculator out of here. Let's just check our answer. So here's the graphing calculator. Okay, so if I quit out of it and I do, all right, what is the sine of pi over 3? So then I just type in pi divided by 3, okay? And if I get root 3 over 2, I'm good. Now, root 3 over 2 is going to be approximately, I think, 0.866. Ah, look at that. Whoops, wrong way. Okay? So that's right. That's going to be that. And then let's check x equals 2 pi over 3. So now let's do the sine of, oopsie, 2, where's pi? Oh, pi divided by 3. And look at it again. Okay, so we were able to check. Now, if you're just totally like not buying the fact that root 3 over 2 is that, just then type in square root of 3 divided by 2. And as you see, the square root of 3 divided by 2 is the same. Okay, got it? So hopefully that helped you out a little bit. I know that was long. We're going to see how well this loads online.